Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, he's right into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be fun already. We are a 3-man team back on WrestleBinge. I am Dr. Chris Featherstone. I'm here with my brother from another mother, Bill Apter, and we have another new permanent resident on Tuesday nights with us, and that is pro wrestling legend himself, and also part of the Sportskeeda family. He's been a part of the Sportskeeda family. I remember a few years ago when I actually linked him up with Sportskeeda and gave him an opportunity to be on the Friday show with pulling some strings and got him on the Friday show. Now he's on the Tuesday show with Bill Apter and myself. This is Dutch Mantell, ladies and gentlemen. Dutch, man, it's been a while.
Yeah, oh yeah, it has been a while. I'm great to be here, and Dr. Featherstone, it's been a while since I've talked to you.
It has been a long time, man.
And Bill seems like 15 minutes ago.
It was.
Because once you talk to Bill, he kind of stays with you all during the day. So
that was it.
And you
we're
guys
back on the binge.
Yes, back on the binge. Yes,
back on the
okay.
binge. It's so
you
good.
Guys ready to talk some wrestling?
You know what? I put out something on social media, and I think we need to talk about this. This is a hot issue of the day. Bill Goldberg has finally come out and said that he is PO'd at the way things happened. Just as he was making his retirement, he said he liked working with Gunther. He enjoyed the match. He said he even laughed and had a good time a little bit there. But what tipped him off is there's something that WWE or NBC would not have done with The Undertaker or John Cena. Goldberg had started his retirement speech on NBC's Saturday night's main event. It went 28 seconds and they cut him off. He is very, very PO'd. He's on a non-disclosure situation right now where he can't go into detail about it. I'll be talking to his son later this week on an exclusive WrestleBinge interview. But man, is he hot. Now I'm trying to tell him that, NBC, it's NBC, they're going to cut that show off at 11 o'clock. But he feels, from what I have read, that they could have timed things better. They wouldn't have cut off his retirement speech, which they ran the next day on YouTube, and he would have rather been on a PLE. So
I got a question.
Had been rushed on time.
I got a question.
Go for it.
Whose fault is it that it went over?
Well, that's what the determination is.
How much time did he need?
Well, when they ran it on YouTube, when they ran it later on YouTube, he was about 2.5, 3 minutes, maybe a little longer, on a retirement speech with all his son, his wife, Doug Dillinger, and a whole bunch of people. But he feels that had it been on a PLE, it would have been cut off. But because it was on Saturday night's main event on NBC, which he was grateful for, if it was John Cena or The Undertaker, they never would have cut it off.
I think they would have too.
I do too.
I think NBC's the network. They got things to show.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you go over, you go over. Surely he understands that. How long has he been in the business? 10 years?
I don't think he thought he went over. The show in general went over. And, his match was longer than most people expected about it. But in the meantime, he's very ticked off about this. And it's not the way he wanted to go out.
I got another question.
I'm going to tell you what bothers me. Not even the thing about the retirement thing. The old rule in wrestling, even though it's a new era, new day, is when you got the guy in the sleeper hold and the referee comes over and he raises your hand, puts it down, you're supposed to have 3 chances at this thing. As soon as Goldberg's hand went up once and dropped down, the referee stopped the match.
Okay.
That wasn't right.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while now. I think that's probably another protective measure. Regarding your question, Dutch, regarding whose fault is it? I think that a lot of that would have to do with the production of WWE.
Absolutely.
Because first of all, no one wants to see, and I'm saying this as a Goldberg fan, no one wants to see a 14+ minute Goldberg match. I mean, that kills his mystique altogether. He's a short fuse, stick of dynamite type of person. You don't like his bread and butter is 5 minutes or less matches. That's what brought him to the dance. That's what gave him the Hall of Fame crown.
Yep.
Why would you have him have a 14-minute match knowing that he's going to lose? Why don't you just cut the match to 8 or 9 minutes? Still going to have the same impact of Gunther winning, and use that extra time for him to talk and actually leave on his terms. That's my take on it.
Okay, the only thing that threw him off was the Seth Rollins injury, correct? Did that put him behind, you think?
Allegedly, I had picked that Goldberg was going to win the belt.
So who's running go position?
Going to come out. Seth Rollins was going to come out.
Who's running the go position? Triple H? They should have taken that into account. Well, did they send word to the referee? Hey, let's go. Let's wrap it up.
We don't.
Yeah, do you know that? Do you know that?
From what they were talking about, Seth Rollins called the audible and had LA Knight go over because Seth was supposed to go over originally. But what they were talking about
that has nothing to do with Goldberg.
No, that doesn't have anything to do with Goldberg. But at the same time, it did cause the time to be more in that match, than planned. I just don't think, kudos to Seth Rollins for doing that. But at the same time, look, if you know that you're injured and you know that you're going to have to be carted off, man, give the guy a low blow, do a DQ finish, and then it gives us some suspense, or have your boys, or have your boys, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker come out and jump LA Knight. Boom, there's an audible finish right there, and I just don't think that kind of sitting there waiting and kind of talking with the refs and the medical and all that stuff like that, to me is time that was wasted, in my opinion.
Okay, Bill, go with me. Me and you were in the control truck, and we said, okay, how much time do we have? Do we go dark? You say we got 14 minutes. Okay. Well, he's going to talk afterwards. That's had to be set up. So this match has to be down under 10.
Yes.
Yeah. You see but they let it. I'm sure they were sending messages to the referee. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And they messed around so long, they didn't really have time. They got it in, but it didn't have his speech in there. Well, and if they would ask him, they would say, how long you want to talk? And he'll say, well, I'll talk, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes anyway. Surely he'd do that. Mm-hmm. But well, somehow Goldberg getting mad at the control people, I think he's getting mad at the wrong people. No, I really do.
Originally, with Seth Rollins not making a big deal in the ring of getting pinned, I think he just wanted to get out of there. But there's still that asterisk of perhaps that Goldberg was going to go over and Rollins, or Gunther was going to get hurt and Rollins was going to come in and cash in the Money in the Bank case that night. That may have thrown everything off if that was the plan.
No, I think that's
I don't,
wishful thinking from you, Bill. You've been saying that for weeks. From what I heard, that was never the plan.
I don't think that would have happened because they're getting too layered at this point. See, let it be his last match. And there was a lot of discussion about, will Goldberg lose on the way out? Well, I guess they will if we give him enough money. Yeah, he'll do anything.
I don't think he was happy with the finish either.
No,
I really don't. I think that's going to come out. I don't think he.
Hey, listen, how many guys listen, that to me is very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
How many guys put Goldberg over?
173 before he lost one match.
And all these guys put him over, and he don't want to lose on his last match.
No, I think the way it may have happened
That's the best way for him to lose, though. He didn't get pinned, and he didn't raise his arm 3 times or whatever, and he just passed out. That's really the best way to go out. And they didn't get a DQ, which a lot of people saying whether they get a DQ. I think they would have rioted if they'd had a DQ. What a cheap way out.
Oh, that would have been.
And I salute him. I like the finish. I like getting the son involved.
Yeah.
And that's what got him beat. So if you put it all together, I like the finish. And but how long was it before Bill got up to speak?
It was right after a commercial. There were 100 commercials. That was the other issue. That match was broken up by 1 million commercials and we didn't get to see a lot of what was happening in between there. So by the time they finished the commercials and you saw him in the ring, I didn't even know they were coming back. I thought it was going to go right to NBC News.
Yeah.
He came back and he was up there and he started talking and boom, it was gone.
Bam, it's gone.
Yeah.
NBC.
He didn't know it. He didn't know it at the time, right?
No, but NBC took it off the air. I think the culprit is it's TV time. No matter what the wrestling people were trying to do, that 11 o'clock thing, they have their news report. That's it.
Well, to Dutch's point, though, I think that's important that you mentioned that, because them asking Bill, like, how much time do you want? And if he says 5 minutes, they're looking at the clock. So they know that it's time for a hard close at the top of the hour. They don't have that flexibility when it comes to NBC versus like a Peacock's or a PLE. It's a hard close when it comes to network television. So if they know that, hey, we're 7 minutes in and you still want that 5 minutes, I mean, y'all know go. Referees are talking, to the wrestlers. Okay, Bill, it's 2 minutes left in this match. Do you still want that 5 or do you want, a couple more minutes? There you go, Bill. Okay, let's go ahead and take it home. You still got that 2 minutes, so you can have that 5 minute, speech at the end. So that could have been some audibles called with that.
Yeah.
Okay, when he was doing the interview, who does it seem like he's upset with?
He's just upset about the entire how it all went down altogether. He's not
disclosing the whole thing yet.
Yeah, he's got a couple
on an NDA for like 2 weeks, and he's going to talk about the whole thing.
Yeah, but I listened to the entire Ariel Helwani interview. I'm going to break that down on PNP, Pancakes and Power Slams, and psychologically, I saw that whole thing. I'm actually going to talk about body language and stuff like that too. Just he was just so closed in. Like there was just so much that he wanted to share that Ariel's a pro at what he does. He was able to pull enough out of him without him like violating any type of non-disclosure. But you can tell that Goldberg was just very unhappy with the close, with the speech getting cut off at the end, the production not, it seems like it was a production thing that, yes, the match went over 14 minutes, but that compromised the speech at the end too. So it's just a sense of incompleteness that you can tell Goldberg's feeling. And Dutch, you know this as a competitor. There's that retired match. There's that I'm going to go ahead and look at the lights at the end, but I really want this to feel like my last match. And Taker was victim of that for years. I mean, like seemingly his last match was WrestleMania 28 with the cage match with Triple H. And then, there was still some Vince kind of nudged him a couple times, and he nudged him once. And the Roman Reigns was supposed to be a retirement, but he had a bad hip, and he hated that match. And then he came back, did the Goldberg thing, hated that match, came back, did a tag match with
coming back. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Goldberg is going to find an independent company or something. Because remember, he was talking about a year or two ago about doing his final match in Israel. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to find another company maybe and go out the way he feels he should go out. One of the other things he said is that they should have started heating this up in January when they first brought it up.
Yeah.
And he feels that they really didn't promote. This was the big main event on network television. Yeah. And it had that big fight feel. We saw it. It had a big fight feel, and he doesn't feel that it really. Even the ratings, by the way, were on NBC, not Peacock. We don't have that yet, but NBC's ratings for that show was down about 27% from the last 4 Saturday night's main events. Yeah. Why? Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of promotion. I mean, and I agree with Goldberg on that end. He said he knew as early as November. So that's 8 months ago. So he knew 7-8 months ago about this whole thing. And he was pretty upset about the entire process. He knew in November, it became official in January. And basically we knew about it from a public eye just a few weeks before the match. You know what I mean? And so understandably, he's upset about that.
How long did we know it? Well, we knew he was retiring, and this match they set with Goldberg. How far did they set it in advance? Did you say
he knew it was Gunther last November? He knew it was going to be Gunther.
But when did they release the publicity that it was this match against Gunther?
Yeah.
Okay. What did the live crowd? Did it? How many people were there? Did it sell out?
Oh yeah, it was a sellout live.
Yeah. It was close, at least.
It was in Atlanta. It was his home, his adopted hometown. It was a total sellout. Yeah, the crowd was very hot for him.
Yeah.
Well, it should have been. It's been a long time since I've been kind of enthusiastic about a match, but I was kind of enthusiastic about this, and I don't think the people. I mean, you could have found a lot of ways that he didn't have to lose, but I think that would piss the people off. He would have to lose. He would have to. He would have to lose straight up.
Yeah.
Or he would have to beat Gunther straight up, which makes no sense at all.
Correct.
Because he's finishing up Gunther. They just touched his potential.
Yes.
So and they asked me on the other show, the Sportskeeda show that I'm on with Vince, who goes over. Vince said Goldberg, and Bill Mac said Goldberg, and I said no, I don't. I said if they do the right thing, Gunther will go over, and I'm glad to see they did.
Yep, they did
the right thing. Now he may not have wanted to do it. I don't blame him really. But I think they've made all the money, and he's made all the money he can make out of this anyway. Unless they just want to just shower him with a gift, just gift him a couple of $100,000. What do you think he made for this match, Bill?
I don't know. I couldn't even think of it. It's TKO.
Doctor, what do you think?
So a lot of money.
What do you think?
7 figures, probably at least.
American Express gift card.
Think he made over $1 million?
Probably $1.5 million, would be my guess.
Yeah. The other thing they could have done, one of the other.
I'd have given him $50 and a hot dog.
Very
be.
nice. Very nice.
Nate, Hebrew National Kosher hot dog. He loves them. The other thing though that they could have done was change the title on Saturday night and Monday night. Seth Rollins could have come in on Monday Night Raw and cashed it in. But again, if that's what they wanted to do, Rollins wasn't part of the scenario.
But you're talking about if Goldberg had actually gone over and won.
Yeah. I want to.
Well,
but to me, if I'm go ahead.
I talked about this before with Bill. I agree with what you just said there, Dutch. I've said this with Bill and I's Tuesday show for weeks. I think it should have been a clear-cut Gunther win, and it was, and I'm totally fine with that. And I think that's how it should have been. The knee-jerk, pop that they want, perhaps to have Goldberg winning this whole town. To me, that makes no business sense whatsoever. I mean, like if your guy is Gunther and that's the person you want to push, just another pointless Goldberg title reign does nothing for Gunther. It just makes him look weaker. Especially this year, they haven't done a really good job with pushing him the way that they should as a top guy.
Dr. Chris, bottom line is Goldberg feels slapped in the face about the cutoff because, like he said, he didn't think they would do this with Undertaker or John Cena. And that's totally wrong because, again, it's NBC. Yep. They don't have time like a PLE wouldn't. Goldberg mentioned this in the Hawani interview, is that if it was a PLE, he could have talked for 5 minutes. It wouldn't have mattered what time it was.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
That's the whole thing. He feels slapped in the face.
Yeah. So what you're saying is they had that plan. We're going to go this long, and then the speech will go with how much it is, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or 5 minutes. And Goldberg expected NBC to just join their show, their programming late.
Yep.
He probably didn't understand the production part of it.
No, he didn't. So, but that falls back on WWE, the creative and the production team.
Yep.
I would think. But anyway, I do. I think they had a pretty good match, and I think I like the finish. I like getting the son involved because when he got back in the ring and then he hit him with that spear, the roof came in. They said, "Okay, here it is." Boom, and then 1, 2, and he kicked out. They were surprised, and then he locked him in.
Meantime, with that spear. They had to spot with Charles Robinson, the referee, who now has got some bruised or broken ribs.
Yeah, broke his rib.
I wonder what Bret Hart's going to say about that.
I think he already did say something about it, actually. Yeah, I think he buried the match.
Before we go, because I know we're only a half hour still. Do we have any super chats, Dr.
We
Chris?
do. Yep, we do. Yep.
Can we hit those really before we go?
Yep, absolutely. That's why I was heading to, Bill. So let's do John Stevens, a new member. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. We got Awesome Sauce $10. Bill, I saw you post about Wendy Richter's place being lost, and hopefully she gets support. Any memories of her? And it's weird WWE didn't mention her or Elizabeth when talking about past female stars last week. What do you think about that, Bill?
Yeah, that first of all, I haven't talked to Wendy since her home went up in flames. Much love to her and her family. Wendy Richter, memory of her during the days that I was covering the matches was one word: classy. Very classy lady. She always held her head up with dignity, and when you saw her and people would say she's a woman wrestler, well, she doesn't look that type. She carried herself just like a beautiful human being, a beautiful woman. And she was the beginning of that whole sports entertainment genre. So yeah, thank you for the question.
Rollin 999. Welcome back, fellas. Saturday night's main event. There has been 4 episodes since its return. Now, 1 episode showed Hogan in the intro. Intro shows 25 legends, but never Hogan. is this NBC's doing? I'll let you take that first, Dutch. What do you think about that?
So they didn't show Hogan.
According to
shows
Robert, didn't show Hogan.
Well, if NBC didn't show him, I guess they don't have to say anything. That speaks for itself. They don't want to be associated with him because the bad reputation, they don't want it to spill over on NBC.
What do you think,
that
Bill?
Speaks to me for itself.
Whoever cut whoever edited it, I don't know why they would have left him off. Well, he's probably busy right now up on Mount Rushmore pushing beer.
All right. We got Dougie Fresh 569. How does that cigar taste and what brand is it, Mr. Dutch? I like a nice cigar myself.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what. These are all supplied by fans. I will get like a box of cigars and I never smoke them.
Mm-hmm.
I just have it out. It's just like who was the guy? Absolutely, he never smoked a cigar, but he always said, You know who didn't ever smoke? Groucho Marx.
Yep.
He had he never smoked it. This is let me see. I don't know. I can't even read it now. It says made in somewhere. That's it. That's all I can read.
On TV way back when in those days, they could do a cigarette commercial and they could put the cigarette up to their lips, but they were not allowed to puff on it. And the same thing with liquor commercials. They could put it up to their lips, but they couldn't drink it on TV.
I didn't know that. I'm glad you told me that.
Finally, we got Dougie Fresh, but Bill's book on Amazon. Yeah, your Bill is.
Thank you. Thank you. Is Wrestling Fixed, Dr. Chris?
I didn't know it was broken, Bill.
Thank you. One thing I want to discuss before we leave. The AEW All-In pay-per-view.
Nice. Tales from a Dirt Road. Dirty Dutch Mantell.
Yes,
Very nice.
Yes. The AEW pay-per-view was too long. It was 5 hours, but it was great. The Young Bucks match against Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. Ospreay and Strickland let the Young Bucks showcase themselves in that match. And I thought, did you see it, Dr. Chris?
Oh,
I didn't know.
The AEW show. How long was that?
5 hours.
Good God.
Right, but I'm talking about one match in particular where the guys who won the match let the Young Bucks, the heels, the vice presidents showcase themselves like I've never seen before. And you knew what was the mentality where Swerve and Ospreay had never teamed before, and they show the inexperience against the experience of the Young Bucks, and it blew me away. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is the great match that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky had on the women's pay-per-view. The thing that bothered me in that match, which was a fabulous match, was that when the girl referee was knocked out, she was down for about 8 or 9 minutes before anything happened. Before any effect, she fell asleep. Why do they do that?
I don't know why they do that. They go down and it's like you shot them or something, or hit them in the head with a baseball bat. They cannot be revived.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I mean, momentarily, okay, we can get that, but just out.
She laid there forever.
Another thing that bothers the crap out of me is these entrances go on forever.
Yeah.
When they come out, they pause there, then the ring, and then they get in the ring and pause. It's a 5-minute entrance.
Yeah, I agree. I saw a clip of Adam Copeland coming back in AEW, and I thought it was hilarious because I don't know how the setup was, but I don't know why the Nick Wayne, I think his name, and somebody else, they were holding Christian. I don't know why that happened.
They turned against him. He was their manager.
I don't know why. I don't know why that happened, but they turned against him. So the funny thing is they're about to absolutely lay him out, right? So what you do is they're holding him up, about to lay him out, and the Adam Copeland does the entire bells and whistles, runs on each side. Music comes out, does the pyro, does the whole gimmick, and then comes down and saves his best friend. You know what I mean? So it's like you go into a bar and your best friend's about to get beat up, and then all of a sudden you just walk in the door like, "Hey, what's going on, everybody?"
But
hey,
he hasn't been his best friend for years now. You know, Christian's a heel, but now they're going to bring him back as a team. Probably he told Christian to go find himself, and that's going to be a big deal for AEW, bringing them back as a team.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. The problem is, why do the entire gimmick as your person is about to get killed? Your best friend's about to get killed in the ring.
You're going to do a sneak attack. Why play entrance music?
Exactly.
So the guy in the ring can go, God, look who's coming out.
Yeah, you're just selling the whole thing.
I wish they would do a long entrance one time, and finally they save the guy. The guy gets up and shakes his head like, "Where in the hell?" And boom, and just knocks the crap out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right, last one before we go. We got Dougie Fresh 569. We should have a karaoke off between Bill and Vince Russo. There you go.
Absolutely. Anytime. I got my back here.
Of course you do, Bill Apter. Of course. All right. Let the listeners know where to find you, gentlemen. We'll start with Bill Apter.
Well, right here on Twitter X at Apter1Wrestling.
Yes, indeed. Bill, Dutch Mantell, where can they find you, my friend?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Dirty D Mantell. I got a couple more. I can't remember them by now because I've been hit on the head a couple 100,000 times. And you can find me via email, Dirty D Mantell at gmail.com. And if you haven't made a purchase of one of these books, you're missing some great wrestling journalism. Nice. It skips all over the place. It starts like 40 years ago, and then it'll jump up to 30, and I have another book coming out that I don't have a name for it, but it will cover my WWE run, which was very interesting. So if you want if you're a wrestling fan, you got to read these. It's almost a required subject matter.
Very nice.
And after
great
you
case
read
study,
books,
if you will.
get mine.
There you go. Absolutely. All right. Follow me at Chris Prolific. I will be heading over to Pancakes and Power Slams right after the show.
Dr. Chris,
talking about
to write a book about the psychology. You have to write a book.
I do have a published book. My dissertation is in book.
No, a book about the psychology of professional wrestling.
I'm thinking about it, Bill. You see all these cue cards. These are all classes I've done in my weekly study, like in my weekly class on Pancakes and Power Slams. I've done classes for all these, front and back, notes galore, and actual class topics. Being blacklisted, a hitman, social media, revolution, selling your soul. So all different types of psychology topics. And I'm thinking about putting this in a book form. I just need the time. That's my big thing. I don't have the time right now, but I will get it. I will get time, and I will do that. So
glad to be back on Wrestle Binge, and so glad to have Dutch with us now too.
Absolutely. So I'll be talking about the I'll be breaking down the Goldberg interview over in Pancakes and Power Slams right after this show. Just Google Pancakes and Power Slams, and I will be there. All right, we got Dutch Mantell. We got Bill Apter. I am Dr. Chris. This is UnSKripted. Have a good night, everybody. Solo.